had to put a hat on because my hair is too long. I'm going to play with it the entire time, like I did in my last Storytime video if I don't wear one. You know, someone got me thinking recently about what my first memory was. So today, I thought I would tell you not just about my first memory, but everything I remember from the aughts, as they're called, the 2000s. I also became aware recently that I have subscribers who were not born yet at that point in time. The prank calls I've been doing have not been exactly working out as far as the algorithm is concerned. Not that I'm done with that necessarily, but I thought we'd have a change of pace today. Now, my first memory is a tragic one. I'm not sure if it's technically my first. It's sort of muddled in my head, like I have a little flash of memory maybe from preschool. But the first solidified one is on the first day of kindergarten. So I remember taking the bus to school, sitting next to my mom. All of the kids were sitting with their parents. You know, this was the era of helicopter parenting in 2005. I'm not sure what the experience was of people who are older or younger who, when you went to kindergarten. More significant was what happened at the end of the day. So I was so terrified to ask to go to the bathroom. I don't know why, but we were all standing in line to leave. You know, they line you up single file. And my need to go to the bathroom had come to a head by this point. I had almost made it out of school. Like, I think maybe my mom was there to pick me up, though I would have had to endure a car ride home, having to pee still. But instead of just relenting and speaking up to say I had to go, I pissed not in my pants, but threw my pant leg onto the floor, and I watched a pile of piss slowly increase in size just right there, and then the teachers actually didn't notice it, so when they said it was time to go, I just walked off, left them wondering who had peed on the floor. I was last in line, so at least I didn't have someone else step in it. I guess that's a silver lining. Another vivid memory I have from being 5 also is getting my tonsils out. It's not very interesting. I just remember waking up crying, you know. If you've had your tonsils out, I think it's a very common experience. That's kind of how it goes, at least when you're a little kid and everything. So a lot of what I remember from my earliest memories happened at my cousin's house. See, my parents had just bought a business at this point in time, and they would babysit me every weekend. They were twins who were 6 years older than me, and their older sister who was 4 years older than them, 10 years older than me. And I just remember the bonus room at their house and always being in there. We played Bubble Trouble. I don't know if anyone possibly remembers that game. You know, they were classic teenagers of the time with all of the aesthetics as you might imagine it. You know, it was pretty fun for me as a little kid, hanging out with these older kids, you know, just going swimming in the pool or whatever we did. Now, I remember one day where I was left alone with the boy cousin who is one of the two twins, and I was watching him play video games. There was a little bit of a change up on this day. He got bored of his game and he decided to walk away for a minute. He came back with a devil mask on, and he decided he was going to shove me in the closet and try to lock me in there. Now, at some point in this process, I thought I was just playing along, I guess. I don't know. I was like a super little kid. But I just threw something at him. And of course, he got very pissed at that point. He was like, fuck, just stand there in the closet. Just stand there. And I think I started to cry at that point. Another random memory I have, and I should tell you these are very random, is the Patriots' undefeated season in 2007 where they went 16-0. Then, of course, they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. I think that was kind of the year I first got into sports whatsoever, just because everyone in New England, where I'm from, was kind of following that. So there was this kid in my class with rage issues, we could say. I happened to be friends with him. And like I said, everyone was following week by week as the Patriots continued to win, expecting they would definitely win the Super Bowl. Now, when this didn't happen, I remember coming into class the day after, and I just brought it up to him like, wow, can you believe what happened in the game? He was like, I do not want to talk about it. And then all of his like paraprofessionals they help with special needs kids were like, "Oh my God, we just got him to calm down. Why did you have to bring it up again?" Now another friend I had was this kid in my neighborhood. I rode the bus with him every day, and he was one grade older than me, but we knew each other just from the bus, and we would go over each other's houses. We would go back and forth all the time on whose house we would go to because we could just get dropped off at each other's place. And what we loved to do, at least at my house, was trampoline wrestling, where we would throw each other around, or I think we would just throw like large stuffed animals around on the trampoline. And one day it had snowed pretty significantly, and we couldn't use the trampoline, so we were stuck inside. Another funny story actually with this friend, he gave me a computer virus once because he showed me Two Girls One Cup and BME Pain Olympics and all of these like fucked up videos that kids our age should not have been watching by any means. Why do you think Gen Z is so fucked up? And I just remember lying to my parents about not knowing why my computer had gotten a virus. It was like this old piece of shit Acer. I think we bought it in like 2008. But anyways, back to the other story. It had snowed this day, and he decided that we should still be able to use the trampoline. I was okay with staying inside, and I told him so much. So he goes out there and in all his snow gear with the gloves and the jackets and everything and starts shoveling a path for us to be able to get to the trampoline. Like, I don't really know what he's doing while he's outside. I figured just let him do his thing. Then he comes back inside and he tells me the trampoline's ready. I'm like, okay, but I don't really want to go on the trampoline because it's cold outside. And he's like, are you serious? I just went through all that work to shovel the path. You should be kissing my feet right now. And I just remember it ended in what I would call a bitch boy slap fight, where we were just like smacking at each other. I guess you could consider it my first fight, though it wasn't really a fight. And then he just stormed home. Like, he just walked back to his house afterwards. Now, another story I remember, this is when I was in elementary school, so about the late 2000s still, maybe '09. It could have been '10, but close enough. So we were at the lunch table. I was there with two of my friends, and we just were around this other kid, and I wasn't friends with him. He was a black kid. That's not why I wasn't friends with him. I need to make that disclaimer because of where this story is going to go. But we ended up arguing about pizza bagels one day, whether they were good or not, and I was on the side that they were not. For some reason, that was like the one thing they served that I would never eat. And for some reason, it got kind of heated. And it seems like everything I remember from this time is some kind of heated exchange. Then after lunch was recess, so we go out onto the playground, and he starts spreading this rumor that I said the N-word. Now, I did not even know what the N-word was. I was 9 or 10. I'd literally never heard it before. And I think one of my friends told me what he was accusing me of saying. I was like, I don't understand. And then we got back to class immediately, almost immediately. The teacher pulls me out into the hallway and starts asking me if I said a bad word. And I just deny it because what else am I going to do? And of course they call home and they tell my mother that they believe I said the N-word. And of course she's furious when I get home. And I remember making up some weird excuse, and I lied and said that I said the word ninja and it was confused for that word because, I don't know, I thought that would work for some reason, but she obviously didn't believe me. But I really never said the word. It's kind of a miracle I didn't become an anti-SJW Republican after having this experience, but the kid was 10 years old. Like, you know, he just knew that was a way of getting me in trouble, like, because I was white and everything. It's whatever. So yeah, I've been sitting here at 3 in the morning remembering these things because I have a life. But I think that's enough material to cover at least what I remember of the later 2000s when my memory had actually activated. Hope you enjoyed it for whatever reason.